All right, does look like it is recording, so we should be good to go.
Many people can't hear.
All right, you guys, good evening. Shawn and Michelle Poe here, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We are going to go over some features of the back office tonight. Hopefully it will record so you can send this out to your teams. It is the beginning of April 2016, just in case you guys get this video 2 years from now and you're like, this is not what it looks like today. So changes do happen, changes occur, but as of today, this is going to be the back office, what we utilize it for and how you guys can maximize it for the activities that you have throughout the month. So what I'm going to do is share my screen so you can kind of see what I see and what I am going through. I'm not going to do the full PowerPoint presentation because when I go into full screen, it doesn't allow me to annotate, and I want to draw on the screen. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And the biggest thing that I want you guys to know tonight is starting April 1st, there was a change to our compensation plan that you need to be aware of, your teams need to be aware of. Darren Jensen sent this out the other night, and what you need to be aware of is that you need to have personal volume now of at least 40 PV that does come from you in order to qualify for commissions. So in the past, those of you that have been around as long as us or longer than us, it used to be 30 in PV would qualify you. Then we went through a period of time where they eliminated the requirement and it could all be maintained by personal customers of yours, and you didn't have to have anything to get paid as long as they offset the PV requirement. However, as he states in here, we do believe that this is the behavior that we want our distributors to have. If you're going to be talking and sharing this with other people, why wouldn't you be a product of the products and have at least a monthly order going on in your household? So one thing that I've talked about with a couple groups in the past couple weeks as I've been traveling is how do you get auto ship set up? And this is extremely vital, you guys. And it starts with your first interaction and how you're setting this up with people. When you're going through a new distributor or a new customer, what I would do is put pen to paper, and I would actually start asking them, how many people in your household are going to be taking Protandim? 2 people, jot down 2. How many people are going to be taking advantage of Axio and drinking that on a daily basis? You're jotting that number down. How many people are going to be utilizing the skincare kit? So as you're jotting this down, that's going to start creating your auto ships, because these are consumable products. We're intending them to be used over and over again. And if you do not want to be a salesperson and you want to have a residual based income, this is the vital key of your business, is creating that auto ship, making sure that not only your distributors but your customers are coming in knowing how we're setting this up. And when you set up the expectations, most of us, I'd say 99% of the people that we bring into the company, whether they're customers or distributors, they aren't professional network marketers. And so they're going to look at what you're saying and how you're saying it to judge what they're going to do and how they're going to put in this auto ships. If you start using terminology that they're not comfortable with, they're going to shy away from it. If you project onto them that you feel shipping's expensive, they're going to feel shipping's expensive. We don't have those issues when we talk to new people because of how we translate the information and how we present it to them. So we're just finding out what their household's going to use. We're telling them, if you're going to be on Protandim, you've got to at least be on it for 4 to 6 months. So we're just going to have it shipped to your house every month. So you don't have to worry about running out of pills. It's going to be there. You can change it at any point in time. If you need more, you need less of something, we can always change that. But here's how we're going to enter it in the system today. And that's really what we do. Let's go on to the next slide here. I want you to realize that with this new change, there is going to be a new compensation plan highlights that's available for you to use. So if you look in this upper right-hand corner of the screen here, this one is effective April 1st, 2016. Any other compensation plan highlights that you have is no longer accurate. So what I would do is erase the old, make sure you're downloading this new one. I got this right off of our back office from where Darren Jensen was explaining the new change. Right below where it was, down here underneath, it said compensation plan highlights. I clicked on the link, drug it over to my desktop to just have that picture. You typically can always get it at the bottom right-hand corner of lifevantage.com as well. Underneath there, it's going to be compensation plan highlights, as well as in the back office in the library under tools. So that will be there as well. So now getting into the actual back office and what you're utilizing it for. Since we were already talking about personal volume and the importance of this, where do you see what's going on with your personal volume, what you have going? On the very first screen in your back office, on the left-hand side, there's going to be this blue qualifications part. If you hover your arrow over the PV part, it's going to populate with this box that's going to show you month to date what your personal PV is, plus all of your PCs PV, which is going to be your current PV for the month. So again, you need to have at least this personal PV being 40 right here to get paid. And then you want, in order to maximize the compensation plan, the total PV to always be 200 or greater. If you're just entering new people or you're putting in a new order yourself, this is delayed a little bit, a couple of hours sometimes, but it should be fairly accurate for the month. So again, this is right off the main screen on your back office, going down to qualifications and looking at what your PV is, just hovering over this link here. Getting into new members. We had the question asked of us a couple of times here real recently. Where do I find new members that are coming into my business? The easiest way that I look at it is, again, right on the first page of your back office. On the right-hand side, you're going to see this new members area. If you click on this like calendar or calculator looking thing, when you click on that, it's going to actually take you to a report that shows you all of the new members that have come in. It's going to start with the current date and then go backwards in time throughout the rest of the month. So you can see the new distributors, new PCs that are coming into your organization by simply clicking on this calculator or calendar, whatever this icon is there. The next part here, when you want to get somebody set up, or if you have not done this yourself, what I would suggest that you first do when somebody's going through their own back office coming in as a distributor is format their screen so that they see useful information. And to me, this is what I have found the most useful. And to get to this area, you're going to first click at the top of your screen, downline, or just hover over it. Don't click on it, actually. Just hover over it. It's going to come with this new drop-down box. And underneath downline reports, you're looking for detailed genealogy. And I use this report all the time, you guys. So hover over downline, click on detailed genealogy. It's going to have qualifications first. But then what we're wanting to look at right now is format. So if nothing is showing underneath the format and it just goes right to this filters part, just click on that format and it's going to populate this second screen or this drop down. And you're going to be able to take any of these available columns and move them over to displayed columns. All you have to do is click on one of them, highlight it, and then you'll click on this arrow to move it from the left side to the right side. If there's something over here on your displayed columns that you don't like, let's say you want to get rid of paid rank, you would click on that, it'll highlight in blue, and then you're going to move it back over to the left-hand side with this arrow, and it'll move it over to the available columns. So again, these are the ones that I have found most useful, and I'll show you here in a second why I use those particular ones and not some of the others. The second part, Michelle wants to take a picture real quick, or she said take a picture. I'm not sure which one.
I was saying maybe you might want to take a picture to see what what he uses from your phone onto. There you go. Yep.
Perfect. All right. So from there, now that we've got the formatting done, if you made any changes to this report, in order to see those changes, you'll first want to click Update Report. Okay, and that's going to repopulate your screen. It's going to show you a new item menu. If you do not save the default after you updated the report, the next time you come back into the detailed genealogy, it's going to look like it previously did, not with your update. So once you have everything you want in the displayed column list and everything you don't want over here on available columns, the next step is click Update Report, and then right after that, click Save Default after the page has repopulated. Going back here, once you have that done, you can click on it again. It's going to hide those options. And the next one right underneath there is filters. This one is what I see people change that gives them the most troubles going forward, where they can't find people in their organization that they're looking for. So we want these really set at the most default that we actually can. All of the PV should be blank. The GV should be blank. Postal codes. The month, day, and year, you can switch this where it goes from like January 1 of 2011 to, the end of 2016. I sometimes have it on that. But if you just have these put back to, instead of an actual number, go to the very, very top of that drop down, it'll allow you to change this to the month, day, and year, and that's going to give you everything that's ever happened in your organization. Anybody that's still active and hasn't terminated out. This active, I always leave, when I don't always, but most of the time I leave this on all, because I do want everybody that's active in my organization showing up. Auto ships, I leave it as all most of the time as well. You can switch this to have it only to show people that are on auto ship or only people that are not on auto ship. But for the most part, you're going to want this set to all. And again, if you made any changes here at all that you want to permanently save, you not only have to update the report here on the right, but then click Save Default for it to take effect permanently. And then until you save a new default, that's what it's always going to show when you click on this filters portion. Okay, so once that is done, here's kind of what we're looking at. And I'm using my mom and my aunt here so that we don't have to use anybody else's personal information on what their volume and stuff like that is. But here's what I like to utilize and why I have the specific columns that I put in there. It's going to show you the watch list. This is where, and we'll talk about this in more detail here in a second, but this is where you add people into your watch list. This is what level they are in your organization, so how deep they are in your organization. Here's their ID, their sponsor's ID, and also their enroller's ID. The enroller and sponsor are typically going to be the same unless they've been placed into your organization. Where their last order, what date that was on. So I can tell here, my aunt hasn't ordered since October. We're now in April. She's going to be close to that point in time where she's going to go from an active status to suspended at the 6-month mark. And then if it went 12 months, she would go terminated if it's been 12 months since the last order. This is going to tell you what type of member they are in your group. It's going to see PC, customer, distributor, things like that. And then also their rank of what their permanent rank is. This is the highest they've ever achieved. And then this is what they're currently going to be paid at if the month stopped today. So this, at the beginning of the month, everybody's going to be on distributor. As their volume increases, they'll change from Pro 1 to Pro 2, etc. But these are important ones here, you guys. Batch day and auto ship volume. When you have batch day, the only numbers that are good to see are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. If there's any other number in here, they are not on an active auto ship right now. They would have to do spot orders throughout the month to have volume. So the numbers that I've seen this be, you'll see here, 0, not a good one. 99, 500, those ones are not on a current auto ship. You can see in the next column, it's going to actually tell me, I know that my mom's ordering $120 worth of product, or that's the volume worth that we're getting for her auto ship. And then it's going to start showing you the last 3 months worth of volume, where I can see where she is in relation to the previous month and 2 months past. So those are the main columns that I look at on a regular basis. Some of them I do alter, but I don't change my defaults to anything other than this. This is what I look at all the time. Okay, now we're getting towards the end of the month, and you guys see text messages from us, emails, and the phone calls. We're talking about ensuring that your people are going to get paid and finding out who in your organization does or does not have enough PV to get paid. So this is not going to show if they have their own personal order. This is just going to show total personal volume that they currently have. In the drop downs again, and this is all once again under downline detailed genealogy. If you take your filters and in the PV area between 0 and 99, and then update the report, we don't need to save the default, just update the report. This is going to show you everybody in your organization that does not currently have any personal volume going through. And what that means is if they are under $100, they're somewhere between 199, they will not receive a commission check for the month that we're looking at. So this first list is going to give you people that will not get any check at all. And Michelle just made the comment, call them. That's the best way that you're going to get them informed of this. Sometimes because of the size of our organization, when we see it, we email or we text message. But honestly, that gets missed. It gets forgotten, and people miss out on their paychecks because they don't know they don't have it in. The next spot, I went back into the same exact area, and I switched it from 0 to 99 to now 100 to 199. We always state that in order to maximize the compensation plan, you need to have $200 in personal volume. But the reason I look towards the end of the month at 100 to 199 is because those people will receive partial commissions on new distributors and new PCs. And then if they are under the rank of Pro 4, they'll actually receive full residual commissions, the unilevel portion of our compensation plan. But we want to get them above the $200 mark, because if they had a platinum pack come in and they were between 100 and 199, instead of receiving a $500 commission check, they're only going to receive half of that, $250. So they will leave money on the table if they're under that $200 mark, and if they're above the rank of Pro 3, Pro 4s and on, they will not fully get paid on the residual portion either. They won't get paid. So this needs to be above 200. This list of people that you generate from here, again, call them up, let them know where they're at, help them get that order in, do what you need to do to get those people above 200. You're updating the report. Again, you don't have to save this default. You don't want that in there. That's when you save this as a default, that's when you're going to start missing and not seeing the people that you want to see. So normally this is going to be cleared out. You're only doing that most of the time towards the end of the month to see who is and who isn't qualified to get paid. The next area is where you're going to start seeing your rank advancements for the month. And again, this at the beginning of the month isn't going to have a ton of information, but at the end of the month, this is really critical because the information that I want out of this disappears basically at midnight on the last day of the month. So what I do is I hover I click on downline instead of hovering over it like we did back here to get that drop down. In this screen, what we're doing is we're actually clicking on the download portion here. It's going to bring you to a new screen. And at the bottom left hand of the screen, you're going to see this My Business, and it's going to start giving you different reports that you can click on. Okay, so right here is no order in 3 months. That'd be valuable for people that, don't have an auto ship or spot order in the last 3 months. You can look at all the people in your organization that are ranked 3 or higher, not on a monthly order. You can click on that. But the one I use most here is this rank advancement report. And this has only been, I would say, true to the reporting in the last 4 months or so. They've done a lot of work on upgrading this and making sure that we don't have to manually do this every month. So when you click on this button here, this right under rank advancement, it's going to take you to a new screen, which is this query report at the top portion of the screen. And it's going to list all the new people in your organization as well as people as they rank advance. So we're not necessarily looking for these independent distributors. They started as distributors. They're listed as independent distributors. The system right now recognizes that as a rank advancement, but that's not what we recognize in our normal monthly process. So what we want to do is once this report is up, click on this paid rank. And what that's going to do is it's going to separate them out, going from independent distributor down to your Pro 1s, then Pro 3s, Pro 4s on. But it'll put them in order. All you need to do then at that point, what I do is highlight from where it starts with the Pro 1s. I highlight everything underneath that. I cut and paste it into like a Word doc or Excel, something like that, where I can actually use the data. But again, at the end of the month, I would get in the habit of going to this report, pulling up this rank advancement, and as late as you possibly can in the evening, filter this out and save that somewhere into your system, because it will, as it transfers from the 31st or whatever to the 1st, it will completely disappear with the new month's information. So hopefully this is good information so far, and this is useful for you guys. We talked earlier about adding people into your watch list. As your organization grows, you're not going to necessarily want to see everybody when you click into your detailed genealogy and scroll through, 100, 200, 500 names, whatever it is, to see the people that are actively working, the people that you're keeping track of on a more regular basis. So what you can do at that point is go to your detailed genealogy and look for the people that you want to add to your watch list. So let's say I wanted to add my mom here. I would click on the watch list, the plus. It'll add her to the watch list. And I can now have a particular screen when I hover over. I'll show you where you get that. When you hover over downline again, scroll down to the bottom of this, and it's going to be watch list. And you can click on that. It's going to populate a new report that's just the people that you're looking to track on a monthly basis as far as the watch list, or however regular you want to do. Down at the very bottom of this screen, I've put the different columns that you're going to see here. I didn't put anybody's name so that we don't have volume or ranks of people within our specific organization, but it'll at least give you the columns that are in there. This is not a formatable report. Whatever's there is there. That's what we use. Michelle and I have also used this in the past to add in everybody that's going to an elite academy, different things like that, where it's the active people in our organization that we want to see on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, what activity they're doing, how we can help them out, how close they are to rank advancing. All right. People that want to see how much they're going to get paid before they get the check on the 15th. Typically around the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, somewhere in there, the reporting is actually done on our checks, and you can go in and see what you're going to get paid. So in order to do that, the only way that I've found to do that until it shows up on the 15th is on the top portion of our homepage, hover over account services. You're going to click on account inquiry. And I didn't bring that up. Don't necessarily think that everybody wants to see what ours is, but it'll bring you to a new screen where it shows every portion of the accounting that's done for your distributor ID throughout the month. So some of them that you're going to see in there are going to be your weekly checks. You're also going to see the check that's going to come out on the 15th. You're also going to see any clawbacks. And what a clawback means is that somebody in your organization that you received commissions on returned their product. And because they returned their product, the company's taking back the commission that they previously paid. So those are the main things that you're going to see there. Make sure you're looking at the right date. Because the 15th of the month will fall back into the previous month's volume as far as this account inquiry goes. So if you want to see what you're going to get paid on April 15th, it'll probably be in this area around the 7th or the 8th. Click into there, make sure you're probably back down into March is numbers, and look for the payment that's coming on for 15, because that'll be what you're getting paid for that particular check. So with that, I know that was a ton of information in a really, really quick format, but I wanted to keep it somewhat concise and not too super in depth, where people can utilize this as a training tool with new distributors going forward. They can utilize it for themselves without going through an hour and a half of information on what to look for and just how to have a basic setup on what's going on. So I think what I'll do right now is I'm going to stop the actual recording portion of this, and then we'll open it up if you guys want to ask additional questions. We'll hang out for the next 10 or 15 minutes and answer any questions that you have. But I will get that recording stopped, and then we will open it up for you guys to ask.